Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, but I decided that I wanted to do one for Thorn because she just recently got buffed. Long story short, Thorn is kind of, I want to say she's overpowered, but she's like Fenrir, I guess is what I should say, where if you like ignore the traps, you're gonna die basically. It's basically like Frost 2.0, but it's a lot more flexible. Now one of the things that I like doing whenever I'm playing Thorn is I like to use the Razor Blooms like they're grenades to basically move people. So right here, I toss my Razor Bloom at the red staircase doorway. The guy is gonna pop the trap, then he's gonna run onto red. I'm gonna wall bang through the wall. I believe I actually injure one, and then the Razor Bloom is gonna go ahead and finish off the guy that I injured, and it also actually caught another guy. I believe that was dropping the hatch. And so right now, there's actually a lot of potential to use Thorn. Like, she is a plant denial, basically. Like, you're tossing like a C4, but it's a lot quicker, and it's a lot harder to shoot out of the air. And whenever you toss them out like this, it's actually, like, really, really hard for the enemy team to actually stop the play, unless they, like, fully expect you to be going for that play. So, like, in this clip, for example, I tossed a Razor Bloom onto the default plant as they were planting. It's going to actually injure the planter. The Razor Bloom time is buffed, by the way, guys. It was 3.9 seconds if I'm not mistaken, and now it's 1.2 seconds. So it's extremely like way faster than it was before. So you can actually use it as like a grenade, toss it onto plant spots, and a lot of people are just not going to be able to avoid it. And the other thing that I actually really liked about it is that now you actually have a lot of potential to play it like a cap can or like a Frost, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a mixture of like every chop rapper in a weird way, you know what I mean? Because if you get hit by the Thorn effect, what's going to end up happening is you're going to get slowed down. If you jump into a window and there's a Thorn trap underneath it with barbed wire, it's going to act as a frost mat. It's going to go ahead and injure you. There's not really much you can do about it unless you can find a way to shoot the Thorn trap or actually just, you know what I mean, outright just avoid it altogether. And then there's like the Thorn traps where it's like you put them in like places where like the enemy team like can't avoid them, if that makes sense. So it's like the idea with these Thorn traps is like when they hit the Thorn trap, they're not gonna run away. They're gonna either like push forward or they're gonna like just kind of like they're gonna tank some of it, if that makes sense. So like, for example, on this round I put one on top of IT. Now the spot that I put it in is actually a really common Fenrir trap spot. And basically the idea is when somebody hits that Fenrir, you basically swing from the rotate hole. But this time we're doing it with a Thorn trap. And the idea is that the person that's going to be on rafters is going to have the decision like, okay, am I going to back up, run away, or am I going to push forward? So that's going to be the thing he has to make a decision of. Now for this specific round in particular, there's going to be a guy that's going to be jumping into the electrical window. Now electrical window push is very common. A lot of people will just do it just to do it. They won't really think too hard about it. So that's what's going to end up happening on this round is that somebody is going to end up jumping in the electrical window. He's going to sit into my barbed wire while the Thorn trap goes off, and I'm going to go ahead and get myself a free injure off of that guy, and then my teammate is going to go ahead and finish him off for me. Now right here, the enemy team is going to be joining out IT. So in this position, we know that the enemy team is going to want to be doing like some kind of IT or warehouse push at some point. One thing you kind of have to keep in mind is that if you're doing an IT and a warehouse push, you got to either get electrical control or aqua control. Now, we're going to actually find a pick for IT, so that kind of ruins their whole push in general as long as we don't sell bodies. And you're going to see right here, somebody's going to jump in my electrical window. My teammate's going to go ahead and finish him off for me, and we're going to go ahead and get that free kill for electrical. And then there's going to be one guy that triggers my Razor Bloom inside of warehouse here, and he's going to actually end up tanking most of the damage there. So I just swing aggressively for the rotate, get myself a free kill into him. Last one's on my warehouse door, and if I was a better player, what I would have did in this position is I would have grabbed my Razor Bloom that's on my doorway right here, and then I would have tossed it right from the door without swinging. But unfortunately, I overswung here, and I'm going to go ahead and give that Thermite a free kill. Luckily, my teammate's going to go ahead and just refrag right away, and we're going to go ahead and secure the round. But I think in that position, for that specific round, I could have definitely just taken my Razor Bloom, tossed it right at the doorway, it would have triggered, and then I would have had a brief couple seconds to swing that Thermite while he's like backing up basically in that position. And if I don't kill him, then I would have died to my own Razor Bloom. But I think it's an idea that people are going to start doing with Thorn once they get more used to how she plays. Like I said, the trigger time is like extremely fast, so it's like you either have to shoot it or you have to run away from it, or you have to run past it. Like, that's the only options, you know what I mean? You can't ignore it, because if you ignore it, it's going to injure you, because it does 125 damage. It does enough damage to make you down if you ignore it, so you cannot ignore it. And honestly, you really shouldn't ignore it anyway, because if you ignored it, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to get slowed down when it actually hits you, you know what I mean? And the slowdown effect is basically the same effect as like the frost effect, where like when you come out of a frost mat, you're like slowed down, you can't sprint, you walk slower, and it's just overall really bad. So you don't want to like get hit by one, because it's basically going to cut out like a big chunk of the time of the round. Now for this specific round, the game plan that we have is that I have barbed wire underneath the red hatch, I have barbed wire underneath the new hatch, I have thorn traps on both hatch drops basically. Now the idea is that when they trigger my thorn traps on red or new hatch, I'm going to go ahead and swing from Shaiko here to get myself potential free kills. Now for this specific round, I don't actually know how they did it, but they actually end up getting rid of my thorn trap that's on red. So basically there's a thorn trap on the hatch drop. So I believe they use like a twitch drone or something of that nature to get rid of it when they pop the hatch. So there's actually not going to be any thorn traps on the hatch drop in this position. So when one of my teammates gives me a call out that I dropped red, I'm going to be like, oh crap, that means that there's no thorn trap that's going to catch them when they drop the hatch, you know what I mean? So what I end up doing in that position then is I always like to keep one of my thorn traps in my pocket, just so that way I can be flexible with it, kind of like how a lot of people use Ella. But you're going to see here, one of my teammates is going to call out that they are going to drop red here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss my remaining thorn trap that I have saved in my pocket, and I'm going to toss it at the wall next to red. Luckily the AoE on the thorn trap is pretty large, so even if they push in and then they back out right away, it's going to like trigger like immediately, so at least let me know the moment that they're going to want to push in. So you're going to see here, they trigger my thorn traps, they run back on the red. I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively here. I'm going to kill one guy inside of CS who tried to ignore it, and then obviously his teammate is going to come follow up to try to look for the refrag. I'm going to go ahead and get myself an easy kill onto him, because it's very predictable, because I saw the Dokubi rotate into red, and I saw the Ash basically stuck in the Thorn, basically. That guy hit the Thorn, by the way. That Ash that was inside of CS, he hit the Thorn. That's why he wasn't moving like that, because he was slowed down. He didn't really have much else to do besides just hold the angle. So I swing aggressively, kill him, and then the Dokubi is just a free kill after that, because he's going to obviously look for the refrag, and we're going to go in and get that free kill to secure the round. But anyway, guys, basically Thorn is just like really strong right now. She's extremely flexible. There's a lot of ways you can get like really easy picks. I highly recommend to try out the like frost mat idea, especially against like teams that you think are going to be really aggressive. Like I know some people will queue ranked and then they'll just play like a def stack, you know what I mean, like a full stack of champs, and those type of stacks usually are just like hyper aggressive. Like they don't really care, they'll just jump in on the first couple of rounds just to see if they can get some easy picks. So whenever you're playing against a team like that, go ahead and try that thorn trap barbed wire thing underneath the windows, and a lot of times you'll get yourself easy kills. And if you're in a position where you're playing like coastline or something where like there's a very easy default plant for the enemy team to go for once they get a portion of the map, then you can also try using the thorn traps as like a grenade launcher, or not a grenade launcher, but kind of like a C4, but like it's like an impact, you know what I mean? It's like an impact toss C4, you know what I mean? So if you try that, you should be able to potentially get yourself some really easy denials and get yourself potential injuries, because a lot of people are like, when they go in for like a default plant, they tend to like think about it, I guess, if that makes sense. They tend to use like a second or maybe like half a second to like think about like, oh, should I stick this? Should I run away? You know what I mean? And a lot of times, a lot of people will just stick it regardless of what's going on. And what ends up happening is that actually sells them, because when you go against a thorn trap and you try to stick, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up getting destroyed by the thorn trap because it activates so fast, you know what I mean? So you're going to end up getting down, and then all of a sudden your push is pretty much dead in the water, you know? Now, that's how I would personally recommend using her. And then the other way that I've seen some other people use her, and the way that I did it on Cafe there, is that I used the thorn traps to basically flood them into a position on the map that I want them to be in, and then I go ahead and swing them to collect myself easy kills. You can also set up really easy pre-fires as well when you're using Thorn. I saw Macy J doing that a lot during his video that he made on it. So definitely go check out that one as well, because that was another really interesting way that I saw. But anyway, guys, the reason why I'm ending this video with a Warden SMG-12 clip is because recently I changed up my settings, and the reason why I did that was so that way I could actually use the SMG-12 a little bit more. Let me know if you guys want to see some, you know what I mean, SMG12 videos or something, you know what I mean, some kind of recoil guide or something like that, let me know if you guys want to see that down in the comments down below. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!